G'day everyone, I thought I'd do a bit of a rundown on our camper trailer. So this is a track trailer Tvan. We've got a 2012 Murranji Mk3 and we've had it since 2012, since new. So I'll give you a walk around and show you what it's all like. So we'll give you a walk through the track trailer Tvan. We'll start from the front. We've got a DA35 hitch on the front which gives us full articulation off-road. Park brake, a really good size jockey wheel if we're going to push it around on some rough tracks. I've put a ISI bike carrier on the front of the drawbar so I can carry a couple of mountain bikes, and it usually sits over the front box here, but I take the spare wheel off to do it, and I usually have enough spares on the car so I don't have to carry a spare wheel. In behind the dust carrier here we've got a two 4.5 kilo gas bottles, and they sit in behind that dust carrier. On the front of the front box there's a couple of large bins in here, but they also act as a bit of a stone guard, so they're angled down and out, so if any stones come off the back of the car they hit that and deflect them out of the way rather than deflecting them back towards the car. So the front box is an option on the track trailer Tvans. So with this one we went with the front box, and we've got a ARB fridge in the front, so we can either use it as a fridge or a freezer, and that just complements the fridge that we've got in the tow vehicle. Next to that there's a area that we can keep things like gloves, shovels, hammers, axes, so there's an area there that we can keep a lot of stuff that you don't mind if it's going to get dirty, because it will get dusty in there. So just moving along the side, we've got a Rhino rack awning on some custom made brackets, so we can tuck it out of the way when we're travelling, and we can lift it up to the height that we want, put the pin in while we're at camp. Along the side we've got a front box or front under bed storage. On the passenger side we've got our kitchen which just slides out. Well, that makes it really handy for side of the road lunch. So just slide it out, do what you need to do. I've custom built this kitchen. The one that came with it didn't really suit me, so I'll give you a bit more rundown of the custom kitchen shortly. So we'll tuck that back away. So we've got in behind the door here we've got a couple of 240 volt outlets, so if you plug into shore power you can get 240 at the kitchen. Also behind the door there's a filler for one of our water tanks. We've got two water tanks on this one, totaling 140 litres. There's 70 litres each. So we've got 70 litres in a front tank in front of the axle and 70 litres in a back tank behind the axle, and they get filled up either side of the van from that point there. So we're running BFG Goodrich tyres on it, and the rims that we're running 200 series rims. I used to have a 200 series, so the tyres and wheels are matched to my 200 series. So we've recently gone to the Hilux because I wanted the camper body or the canopy on the back, so we'll change these over to Hilux wheels and tyres to match the Hilux. So moving further along, behind the rear wheel there's a storage locker. So it's got a couple of straps in there at the moment, but it'll fit a jerry can, so if we're doing a longer trip I can put either fuel or water in there. Give us a bit of extra range on both. And as I said, it's got two water tanks, and they're the taps for the water tanks, so you can either hand pump them. I've only got water in one tank at the moment, or there's a button here that you can pump electrically out of one of the tanks, so or hand pump it if we need to. So they're the access to the water tanks. And then at the back we have the rear floor and the rear hatch. So the floor folds down, gives us an extra 2 metres of floor space, and then the rear hatch folds up, and that gives us the tent to pull out. Shush. Camping with dogs, gotta love it. And that gives us a tent. It gets stored in this rear hatch here. So we'll set it up and we'll go through that. On the back of the the floor, the fold down floor, we've got a small firewood rack, so we can drop that down, put some firewood on it, strap it on if we need to, and on the way to camp, and once we get to camp, we can undo it, offload it, and then fold the floor down. So it's pretty simple little firewood rack on the back. As I said, it's pretty dusty at the moment because we're mid-trip and the road's quite dusty. So that's pretty much the back. We've got tail lights, number plate, and pretty basic. So on the driver's side, we've got another slide for the front boot, and in that front boot we have the hot water system for the shower, the porta toilet, and just some more storage. We've got shower hoses. There's a milk crate there that's got bits and pieces in it, so that slides out. We can plug the hot water system in and have a shower. There's a shower tent on the side of the Hilux, so that's where that lives. So it just slides out, a couple of minutes to connect it to the gas cylinder and the water pump, and we can have a shower. So that's that front storage. And then we've got more storage underneath the bed opposite the kitchen, and this storage is just things like levelling ramps. I've got the canvas awning that goes on the other side. It's a full-size awning, so if we want to set up for a few days and put the awning there, we can do that. And then we've just got just storage like fire pit and things like that. So good amount of storage in that front locker. All the lockers, they've got key locks on them, so we can lock them with a key, or they've just got the twist locks, so while we're at camp we can close it and we don't need to lock it with a key. And moving to the back corner, we've got another storage locker. I've got a 20-litre jerry can in there, which I usually have for shower water, so if I'm somewhere where I can't really pull water, at least I've got 20 litres of water for a shower, so that lives in there. And on this side here we've got the water pump for the shower, and it just connects in underneath here with the standard garden hose fittings, and we've got our power box so we can connect to shore power there as well. Next to it is an Anderson connector for external solar, so I can plug a solar blanket in if I want the van in the shade but I still want to get solar input. I can run a lead out and put the solar panel in the sun and connect it in through there. So up on the roof we've got 120 watt solar panel, and we've got two skylight hatches that we can open up and get some air ventilation through the van at night. And they've got mozzie nets or fly nets, and block out shutters if we need to shut them up. So that's pretty much the roof. Nice and simple. Okay, I'll show you how easy it is to set up the tent on the back of the Tvan. So just undo the clips, drop the floor down, just got to grab the legs down the side of the floor. Grab the legs, and they just easily go in the slots on the deck. Undo the latch. And open the floor up. And we can level it up just by undoing the handles. Level the deck up. And then open the rear hatch. And the tent's all stored up in this netting. So it's just a matter of undoing the zips. Undoing the clips. There's two more clips here, and then the tent just pulls out. So there's an elastic lip that goes around the edge, or elastic section that goes around the lip of the door. So we just put the tent in there. We do that all the way around, do it on the other side. That's on, and then there's a couple of bungee cords that go around the bottom of the tent to bungee it to the floor. So it's pretty simple, only takes a couple of minutes. Bungee them on. Just doing the ones on the other side. Okay, so that's pretty much the outside done. We'll go inside and I'll show you how we set up the inside. Okay, I'm going to do this from both inside and outside. We'll film it from inside and outside. So yeah, just inside now. There's a frame in the roof. So there's two little wing nuts that we just undo. And grab the frame, swing it round, push it into the two pockets, one on either side. Do the wing nuts up. That tightens the roof. And now we just got to get the poles, which are stored next to the bed. And drop one pole on that side. Put it in the little socket on the floor, and the other pole on that side. Again, just drop it into the little cup on the floor, and the last piece is what they call the breakfast bar, but it also tightens off the little back section, so it just velcros on like that. Velcros onto the tent. And there's a couple of little ropes that just tie up on the side of the pole, just a little half hitch. That's enough for it to sit in place. So that's really good just to chuck light things like towels and t-shirts or jumpers and stuff. Shoes if you want them off the floor. But there we go. So that sits on the back. And the tent's all up. There's a few windows we can just open up. Get some ventilation in there. They just roll up and velcro up. So before I did mention the awning that's stored on the other side. So the awning zips on here. So there's a zip there, right down the side, so we can zip the awning on across there, and then it runs across the other side of the roof. And then you can put the awning up if I stay for like 3 days or so. You want a lot more shade, but I very rarely put it up because I've got plenty of shade on the ute, and I've also got the awning there. So there we go. That's the setup on the Tvan. So all the fly screens are all midgy fly screens, and yeah, got zippers all the way around, good size, good durable zippers. And there's also another big window on the back, so if you want a lot of airflow you can open it right up and roll that up and get some good airflow happening. So that's the Tvan. Very rarely do I, if it's just me, throw the tent up. Quite often I'll just open the back, drop the floor, open the back, crawl in and pull the floor down behind me if it's just me camping. Especially if it's cold, if I go down the snow, keeps it nice and toasty, and it's just like a swag with a hard top. But because I've got the dogs with me this weekend, they're sleeping in there in the tent space. So yeah, awesome. Really easy to set up, really easy to pack up, and you're not putting any, if it's been wet, you're not putting wet canvas onto your bed. It all sits up inside that hatch, and you don't end up with getting wet canvas on your bed. So there's a tent on the Tvan. So I'm just going to show you the inside of the Tvan. As I said, there's the kind of breakfast bar shelf at the end. That's the frame. It drops into those 2 little pockets, and inside there's a queen size bed and a bit of storage underneath. So yeah, really comfortable. It's got some Sirocco fans on the roof, so if it does get warm you can turn the fans on. There's one of the hatches, the 2 hatches, and the electrical system. I've changed this over and put a Red Arc Manager 30 in. So originally it came out with a projector AC charger, and I only had one 105 amp hour AGM, so a really small solar regulator, because it only had 60 watts of solar on the roof. So I changed it. Oh, and it didn't even have a DC charger from the car. It was just a direct connection to the car's battery. So I changed it over, made up this extra large box to house the Manager 30 on the side here. So now I've got the Red Arc Manager 30. It's got AC charge through the Manager 30, solar regulator, and a good DC charger. And the batteries are stored underneath. The batteries are stored under the floor in 2 boxes. So there's 105 amp hour on that side and 105 amp hour on that side. So there's a little storage box just under the floor at the back here, so you can just put little things in there. I think there's a clothesline and a few tent pegs in there at the moment, so just close them up. There's the battery, the water tank indicator there under the bed. There's LED lighting, and lighting on the outside. There's some speakers up at the bed head, and some USB chargers at the bed head, and just here as well next to the Manager 30. So plenty of power to charge everything up while you're in bed. So I'll give you a run through the kitchen. Now this isn't the standard Tvan kitchen. I've changed it. The standard one didn't really suit me that well, and I'll let you know why when I slide this out. So inside the hatch, just slide the kitchen out. Now this is a totally different kitchen to the one that comes with the Tvan. I've changed it because the Tvan one had a 2-burner stove there, gas stove. It had a sink that pulled out there, so you had the sink and a cutlery drawer. On the other side over here, through hatches on the ends, was a little pantry. but you're only limited to things that would fit in through like a 100mm gap on the side, because we only had the gap from the slides to about here to be able to get things in. So what I've done is I pulled that out. I got my Ziggy and put my Ziggy in there. So you'll see a lot of the cooking segments I do on a Ziggy. The lid just folds over and it fits underneath. I've got a couple of IKEA chopping boards cut down to fit inside the Ziggy, so they live inside there. And a big pantry, you'll see the size of it, with a sliding lid. So the lid just slides to the side like this. I get an awesome workbench that I can prepare on, and I get a pantry that's nice and deep. I can get to all my stuff that I need to get to, knives and forks or long utensils, pots and pans, all that sort of stuff. Alfoil, you name it, it's kind of in there. Wipes, paper towel, cooking oil, so pretty much everything you use while you're cooking. Really easy to get to in the pantry. And then here is a 2-burner stove. This is an American one from Cook Partner, but again, I managed to find one in Australia, and I got a 2-burner stove with a decent cooktop. So I'll show you that from the other side. Let's put the lid down. So as I said before, here's the sliding lid on the pantry, all stainless steel, slides off, nice prep bench. The stove I can use as a prep bench as well if I'm not using the stove, so it's got an aluminium top, and a really good latch on the front. And there's a 2-burner stove, and just to show you the size of the burners, I'll just grab saucepan, so that's a fry pan, smaller one, and a big 28cm fry pan, and I can get them side by side on this 2-burner stove, so plenty of room. And yeah, at least 2 pots, big fry pan, 2 fry pans, 2 big pots, camp oven if I throw the camp oven on there, and the gas connection's just on the side here. So we've got another drawer that slides out, and in that drawer is my plates, cups, bowls, a bit more paper towel, handles for the fry pans, so lighters, things you need quite a bit. So that's in that drawer, and that slides out quite a way. So we'll give you a rundown on the kitchen.